Welcome back to Sussex Farm for this second look map tour with me, MrSealyp. What do I mean by second look map tour? Well, this is all the things, or these are all the things that I missed on the first go round, and there was tons on the first video and loads that I managed to fit in. I have been talking backwards and forwards with Jim over the last few days, responding to feedback, passing on information to Jim from subscribers and comments that have been left on Facebook and Twitter and YouTube, and pretty much all of the feedback is phenomenal and positive and people are loving it, but there are a few little issues and there are things that I missed and things that I'm going to talk about and things that Jim wants me to talk about to get the message out to people. So first couple of things, and I'll get these out of the way before we move on to the actual specific bits around the map. Jim is now working away at a few little issues. He's removing trees, and there will be an update at some point. Whether I hope that will not require a restart, because if it does, I'm going to be in trouble, and I'll explain why in a minute. He is widening feed triggers. I had a couple of comments and posts left saying that they were trying to put feed into the feed points, especially for the sheep, and it was going everywhere. The triggers are right in the centre of those troughs, so he's thinking he's going to have to widen some of the feed triggers, and to let people know that pedestrians and characters all go home at night. I showed you the fruit and veg stall on my first look, opens at a certain time and closes. The burger van that I also showed you closes up and goes away and comes back the following day. The ship leaves at 3 o'clock every night, comes back, I think it's 7 in the morning, could be 8, I can't remember what it was now, one of those, but it comes back in the morning, comes back in and backs into the dock. And to let people know as well that the PC version of this, the original PC version, is no longer available on the mod hub. Giants removed the beta version, depends how you say it, and replaced it with this current version, what's considered to be the console version. So the only version available now is this particular version, which is for PC and console, and they're both the same. So a lot of people have been saying, and I said myself, the PC version's better. There's other things on it. Obviously there are some elements you can still do on the PC version, but for all intents and purposes they're the same map now. So that's kind of the odds and ends out the way. Now I'm going to get into a few little specifics here and there. I said on my first look that you have to get your water from the water points around the map, because the two lakes, especially the little ponds up at the farm, are flat surfaces. You can't actually go into them, you can't refill from them. However, I've come to the bottom of the map, the south of the map, field 36, and we have a little beach here which runs down into the ocean. Now I understand, I totally get it, this is salt water, and if you want to go for a realistic farming experience you wouldn't use salt water. However, if I jump in here, it says refill water trailer. If I press that now, I am refilling for free down in the ocean near field 36, or south of field 36. If I open that map up right at the bottom, I'm right at the bottom, almost central, right there. So you can fill up for free if you don't want to be forking out loads of money for your water. So if you want to do that, that is available. There are a couple of nuggets that people are struggling with. I'll show you the other one in a little while, but this one, people are struggling to find the one at field 36. Now I'm assuming this is the one. I'll open the map back up again. If you get the first 10, they all kind of appear on the map. But as far as I'm aware, I'm in the southwest corner of field 36. If I go up onto the rocky outcrop here and round over the top, I think it's the one that people are struggling with or struggling to find, I believe. There you go. It's here. I think that's the one people are talking about. I could be wrong, but a few comments were left on my YouTube channel and people were referring to field 36 and the one they couldn't find. It could be that one. I'm going to head up towards the car wash now. I'll see you up at the car wash in a minute and we'll get on to the next couple of things. So I'll see you there momentarily. I find myself up at the car wash. This is something a few people have talked about, and there's a lot of bouncing backwards and forwards on this. So I messaged him, spoke to him about this. I'll show you that in a second. But if you wish to sell water, and now the fact that you can actually get it for free down the bottom, I suppose with a big enough tanker, if you want to sell water, and if you want to do a kind of narrative storyline, if you come here to this point where it says water next to the car wash, and the trigger comes up, I do R1 and unload, I'm actually getting paid for the water, which is pretty good. This is like any other sell point. If you sell a lot over 48 hours or so, that price will drop, it will come down, so you can't do it indefinitely and make an absolute ton of money. However, if you were to get one of the large tankers, that was 2,442 for free water. If I had a big tanker, 60,000 litres, whatever you want to do it with, you can make a bit of money doing that. A little bit here and there, all helps. Add it into your narrative, you have to come and fill up the car wash tanks, otherwise the car wash doesn't work. That kind of thing. You come into the car wash here, and it doesn't matter which way in you go. Now, I've had people commenting saying, the car wash is awesome, it works on my map. Well, here's the thing, and Jim has told me categorically it doesn't work on consoles, but he's proving a point with the potential for this, in that when you come to this point here, it says top left hand corner, start auto wash. When you press it, you get a beeping sound. It starts to wash, then resets and goes back, and it comes up on here error. So if I press it, error, reset auto wash, it does that and goes back. But it's proving the point that it can be probably worked in at some point, but that's still pretty cool. If I come back to this now, this is saying error, reset auto wash. If I press circle again, that's still pretty cool. I have to say, that's pretty awesome. So whilst the car wash technically does do something, it doesn't do a full, you know, right the way up and down kind of thing, but there you go. That's the car wash. Okay, across the road, I've got myself a fuel tanker and a little Zetor. Jump in that. And if I've put some fuel in this, don't need to put too much in, that will probably do for the time being. I'm not sure what this is going to cost, so let's stop there and pull away. How much did I just spend? 2,742 on fuel. Fuel is expensive. Now, if I take a drive from here, and again, if you want to go for a narrative, bit of a storyline, these are all things I'm thinking in my head. Jim's mentioned this to me. Up at the airport, what do they need? Well, to be fair, in all honesty, at the airport they would use avgas. That's aviation gas or aviation fuel. But you know what? Let's be a bit flexible. I probably picked the worst tractor for doing this. No power at all, but hopefully this will keep chugging. Hey, don't slow down too much more. We're nearly at the top of the hill. Come on, you can do this. There we go. So we come up to the airport, and at the airport there's a fuel tank. Now I assumed, again when I did my first look, that was a fuel point. It's a fuel sell point. You can buy fuel and you can sell it up here. Interesting one. I don't think I've ever come across that before on a map. So I have to say, pretty cool. I don't know what I'm going to get for the fuel, but again, this will start to drop. If we go across the grass, I hope nobody minds. I just want to get there quickly. So if I go into this point here, no, Jim did say to me, oh, that's weird. Oh, okay, well I haven't got the trigger come up, so don't know about that one, but I was informed. Just at the sell point here, is it? No, okay, well I don't know about that one, but Jim did say you could sell fuel up at the airport, so I'm not sure about that one. I suppose I should have tried that out before I came up, but that's odd. Did I just miss the trigger coming up or something? Nope. Okay, never mind. Well, we'll leave that one for the time being. I'll have to come back to that. Turn that off. Now, sell points, something I did miss on my first look as well. There is a sell point up at the airport. This, I believe, is the sell point up at the airport. I'm just trying to think, is there a little fuel thing anywhere else up here? I don't think there is. Maybe I'm missing something really obvious, but I thought that would be the point. Anyway, so there we go, sell point up here as well. I forgot to mention that. When you go into the actual menu and go across to sell points, we go down on the top one actually, it says airport. That's it. I did say I was up at the airport, showed you all the cool stuff and forgot about the sell point. Okay, so that's sell point. Off to the next thing. I'm going to gradually work my way around the map. See you in a moment. Next we find ourselves at Sussex Livestock Market next to Field 30, and the sawmill is just over behind there. We've got our manure purchase point, and I've had a lot of people saying to me, I can't get it to work. How does it work? It will only work on muck spreaders, it won't work on trailers. How can I get this to work? Well, in simple terms, what should happen is, with the menu open, top left hand corner, I drive into the trigger and it says refill tipper. I press L3 and the trailer starts to refill with manure. Now this isn't expensive either. I can fill this entire trailer for about, well, which one is this? There's about 400 and something, I think it is. Something like that. Stop that just there. That's how you do it. However, there is a problem. Well, I say a problem. In all honesty, I think that's pretty amazing. I still think that's awesome. But obviously there are still people saying, well, the thing is, I want to use a particular type of trailer. You know what? A small compromise for what you can do with this is pretty incredible. Because when I first tried it, I thought it was just manure spreaders. Here's the thing. I've got a modded trailer here. This is the Gillibert or Gillibert, however you want to say it. When I drive the modded trailer in, the symbol does not come up for refill. If I press L3, nothing happens. Jim has told me that all of the in-game trailers work fine. The modded ones don't. So even if it means you just buy a smallish or a trailer for just doing your manure and just get an in-game one, that's fine. He did tell me though he hadn't tried or tested out the semi-trailers. Same thing with that though, in that modded semi-trailers don't work, because I came over and tried it with the Black Sheep mod in 70,000 litre one and it didn't work. However, with the Cramp 59,000 litre one, if I do the same thing, the trigger does come up, and if I click on that, it starts to fill. That's going to fill with 59,000 litres of manure. You can then take it and put it wherever you want to. Put it in a massive pile somewhere. If you're one of those people that you really like to use the loaders or tippers to load up your muck spreaders and you want it to look more kind of authentic, fill up a trailer, take it to your farm, put a massive pile somewhere, and you can absolutely go for it and do that. I know, think some people wanted to do it here, but again, I'm just thinking in my head, this is brilliant. The fact that you can do this in game, and when I came and did the first look, I mentioned it. I said you could do it, but didn't show it being done. So let's just stop that there. 19,000 litres, came in at £459. I mean, that's nothing, is it? Let's be honest. So that's the manure purchase point. It does work, but it works with the in-game trailers, unfortunately not with modded ones. I think to get that trigger to work anyway is pretty impressive. To get it to work on all the modded trailers that are out there would be a bit of a game for Jim to sort out. So from here, I'm going to whiz out. Actually, I'm see if I can get over the fence here. Maybe not. Nope, going to get stuck. There we go. Just across here is field 26. Field 26 is a field you start with. There is a minor issue with field 26. We look into the map, and I come out here and go to growth. Field 26 is over here, and field 26 is showing as ploughed. That lovely colour there, it's showing as ploughed. If I go to the next page where it says soil composition, it's showing red as needs ploughing. So it's a minor issue. It's not a big problem. If you want to get your full capacity and you do want it ploughed, then all you've got to do is get yourself into a tractor. It says, turn it on, drop down the plough, and just replough it. If you plough over this ploughing state, it will then show up as ploughed. If I do a squiggly line across here, it will show up a little bit easier on the... Hopefully it will show up a little bit easier. There's a snaking line. I know this is not how you plough, this is just before anyone starts freaking out. MrSealyp is an idiot and doesn't know how to plough. If I now look into the map, please tell me this has worked. I don't think it's wide enough. Yeah, there's a little strip just to the side there. You can see now is ploughed, which will clear that completely. It then needs fertilising and everything else. That winding track I've just done hasn't showed up, but you can see in that bottom corner, if I can zoom in any more I will, that it is indeed now showing as ploughed. So when you start, it's showing as ploughed and it says it's ploughed. Then when you go into the next setting, it's saying it's not, just needs reploughing if you want those full states. You can come straight over this, you can cultivate it, you can come straight on and fertilise it, you can seed it, do whatever you want. If you're not bothered about the ploughing state, that's fine, but if you are, don't assume this is already done, because it's not. That's field 26. Moving up to the farm. I will see you there in a moment. So here I am at the farm at Sussex Farm. I've got on my little piece of paper here, cats and bales. There's a lot more that I need to show you here at the farm. First things first, security cameras have a little red light on them and they are working. I'm going to show you something on that in a moment. If we come over here and jump up onto the rabbit hutch, which I didn't even realise was there, it says, and jump up onto the rabbit hutch, these two pesky blighters, these cats, are watching the chickens. They're just waiting for an opportunity. Like all the other characters on the map, at a certain time at night they disappear. They go off back home to drink milk, cream, whatever it is, and lie by the fire. In the morning they come back again and spend their day watching the chickens. Lovely, just keep an eye on them though. So, moving up into the yard, bearing in mind the security cameras, we come over to the barn. Now I loved, on my first look, if you haven't watched my first look, by the way, if you haven't watched it, go and watch it. You know, I don't like to blow my own trumpet, but it's brilliant. Go and watch it. Lights have all come on, lovely. Security camera. Now, if you get close enough to this, you can see the screen behind, and I'm not sure why the white bit's round it, but whichever direction you're going, if you get close enough to it, there are actual views from those cameras with the little red light on. That's showing you those particular views. That's a neat touch. I like that. Very, very cool. Anyway, the lift. I talked about the lift. I was excited about the lift, and I also said about the sign on the lift. There have been a couple of issues, and they're just, it's minor things. It's, you know, at the end of the day, we don't always pay attention and we don't always read signs. I know I never really bother. Now, if I come to here and put the lift up, you'll watch something weird happens with the vehicle. And in the left-hand corner it says lift master up, lift master down. If I press circle, you'll notice the lift gun goes up into the tractor a little bit, and then it kind of lifts it, but it goes a little bit weird. It doesn't really like it very much. If I now go lift down, oops, that's a bit of a worry. However, there is a reason why this sign says drive forward until vehicle stops. You must drive as far forward as you can. This is to prevent the vehicle from entering sleep mode. If you stop too far back, then the vehicle will float in mid-air when bringing the lift ramp back down. Oh yes, like that. So if I jump into it and try and drive, it comes back down. So if I drive forward now and I'm still accelerating forward, that's as far forward as that will now go. Oops, turn off the engine. If I jump out and now we'll use the lift, like so. I'm going to bring it back down again, like so. It works perfectly well. So if you're finding you've got a floating tractor, it's because you haven't driven as far forward as you possibly can. If you do that until it stops, it will work perfectly. So that's the lift and the security cameras. Like I say, I've got a whole list of things here. I've been talking to Jim, and there's things I've found out and things that subscribers have commented and mentioned. I've had pictures sent to me, screenshots of various different things, and people saying to me, can you pass this on to Jim? Can you let him know? And most of the people, it's just literally say, look, can you let him know so he's aware of it if it needs to be fixed or whatever. But the praise that I've had for Jim about this map is just immense. It's just absolutely immense. Now, if you want to find your first 10 nuggets without any messing about, they're right here. If I go like this across all those nuggets like so, it says you found 10 nuggets so far. Excellent. Picks up the last one. I've got 11. So all my nuggets are now showing up on the map. So without having to mess around and going all over to find your first 10, they're right there by that silo. And talking of silo, I said how impressed I was with the fact it had a capacity of 500,000 litres, which is awesome, but I didn't say what went in it. So, go L3. This will take wheat, barley, canola, sunflower, soybean, corn, potatoes, sugar beet, brilliant, all the crops. Sugarcane, nice. Manure, that's an interesting one. Total mixed ration, chaff, wood chips, silage, straw, pig food, grass, hay, wheat. So back to wheat again. That's pretty much everything the game has got to throw at you. This silo will take. That is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. It takes everything and 500,000 litres of it. So if I just pull this up here, the last thing I have on my list for the farmyard is bales. So around the corner here I've got my little Lintner ready to rock and roll. Something I didn't point out, I did say that the actual straw point for the pigs and the cows was very, very easily identifiable and very, very handy. What I failed to mention, and what I didn't even notice myself, I'll be totally honest with you, the bales. I thought the bales here were just, you sometimes get them on the map, boom, there's bales sitting there. What Jim has done to help you out on this map is when you do start with stuff in the silo. You do start with enough to get your animals going straight off the bat, which helps if you're running seasons. It's not going to last you very long at all, especially if you're running seasons, because then you've got to get your crops in the ground. It's going to be a while till you can get enough stuff to get your farm up and running. But these bales are not just for show. Jim has actually supplied you with some bales, so you can start off straight away. You see in there the straw has gone onto the ground, so you do start off with 3 bales here at the pigs and around the corner there by the cows, which I think is very, very generous and very, very handy on them. So those bales are not just for show, they are real, they do work. Wonderful. Let's turn off the Lintner. So that's bales. So I've done cats and bales and all the other bits and bobs I need to do. While I'm here, sell points. I did talk about sell points and I did say I'd missed some bits out. So sell points. I walked up the hill on my first look and said about the windmill and how awesome it was. What I failed to mention and what I didn't notice, which I should have done, was there's a sell point up at the windmill. You have to go into the fields and you come round from the other side, but when we come up the hill here, and the thing is, they're not obvious. It's not like glaringly obvious. It's not a sign saying windmill sell point or anything like that. It just says windmill on the map. When we come up the hill, round the corner, there's a little track that runs up here, and the sell point is here. So this is the windmill sell point. It does exist. It's here up on top of the hill. There you go. Right, that's that done. On to the next one. What was next? I want to make sure I get everything in so I don't forget. Right, bear with me 1 minute. Let's head down to the Slurry point. So, Slurry, that's where we're heading now. See you in a moment. So we've just come off the main road. We are at the Slurry point here on the map, down near field 20, just south of field 20, and placeable point 3. And we have got the Slurry out and the Slurry in. So this is a fairly straightforward one. I think it works on the tankers as well as it does on the actual Slurry spreaders themselves. Just drive into the point, it says refill, and you refill your Slurry tanker. That's actually quite straightforward, nothing too complicated or odd about that. If I swing right around the other side again, then if I've got a load of Slurry at my farm and I want to sell it, if I'm not doing slurrying and your animals are producing it and you want to sell it back, by all means come here. Please trigger work. That's weird. Hang on, That has to be in a tanker, doesn't it? I'm just thinking that one won't work out of a slurry spreader. It has to work out of a tanker. But that's where you sell it. That's not the point I was making to come down here, though. Something else I didn't notice, and I'm really annoyed with myself for missing this because Jim told me about this ages ago. Around the corner here, we've got another one of these little black and white hazard boxes. If I go into there, it says transfer slurry from overflow tank. Interesting. This fills up the slurry tank. Transfer slurry to overflow tank. I mean, it's a nice touch. It's, like I say, do you need it for anything in particular? No, you don't. But again, if you're doing a storyline or a let's play, or you know, you can do whatever you want with it. It's just another one of those really cool little touches. So if you're wondering what that box was for, or you haven't even noticed the box, there it is. That's for filling and emptying the slurry tank. Nice one. I like that. Right, from here, I need to find my pickup because my pickup is somewhere. Bear with me. I will go to my pickup. So I am now down. Well, I say down. I'm on the eastern side of the map, looking out across to where the cruise ship is. The harbour's over there, or the marina is over there to my right hand side. This I completely forgot, and again Jim showed me this in, you know, when he was first making it, and I thought it was such a clever idea. There's a racetrack. There's a racetrack on the map. That's brilliant. And there's a couple of, or 3 pace cars here that he's done in all different colour schemes. You've got stands, you've got your racetrack. Again, it serves no other purpose other than it's here, and it's a nice addition. My daughter and I, SUSSEX, did say what would be quite cool would be to come down here with the Profi hoppers or something. Something small, not mega fast. You could do tractor racing, you could do Profi hopper racing or something like that. I just think it'd be quite amusing. But yeah, we've got a racetrack. How cool is that? Absolutely brilliant. So yeah, if you want to come down, do some tractor racing, or anything else for that matter, come down, use the track. Nice little touch, great little feature to add, but there you go. That was close. Stunt jumps included. There you go. Didn't really land that very well, but anyway. Right, so off to the next thing. I'd like to say I want to get all of this in because there's some brilliant stuff. Looking at my sheet, I think there's only a couple of things left, I think. Yeah, bear with me a minute. We'll go to the next one. So the next one is that pesky nugget. That nugget that people are struggling to find. I know there have been a few little YouTube clips and people have put things up, but I thought I'll add it in. People have been asking me, so I'm going to chuck it in there. I'm standing in Sealy Lane. How lucky am I? And there's that one nugget that's inside the 5-storey building. 5-storey building. How does one get it? People have tried cutting down trees, using them to do the Harry Potter trick and fly up onto the roof and various different things. Here's the easy way. Pull up next to the building as close as you possibly can, touching it with the left hand side of your vehicle touching the building. All you need to do now, press square and exit your vehicle, and you find yourself inside the building. Et voila, done. Pick up the nugget, happy days, back towards your vehicle, press square again, back in my vehicle and drive away. There we go. Minor hack, but that's how you can get that last one. I know it's one of those things people go, oh yeah, but you shouldn't have to. I know, I totally get it, and I know Jim's going to work on it, and there's, you know, a few little things need to be adjusted. I think it's trying to test your ingenuity, that kind of thing. But that's how you do it. You can get that one out of there fairly easily. I say it's fairly easy. Once you know how, it's fairly easy. If you didn't know how, it's an absolute nightmare. So as far as I'm aware, those two, the nugget of field 36 up on the rocky outcrop and the nugget here, are the two that most people are struggling to get. If they've got all the other ones, this is definitely the one that a lot of people are really struggling with. So that should, for some of you, be your 100th nugget, in which case, welcome to the Millionaire Club. Oh, I'm not at the moment, but you know what I mean. So, one last thing. What was the last thing? Oh yeah, the last thing was a tiny little touch. But it's a brilliant one. That's the burger van that goes, comes and goes, leaves at night, comes back in the morning. I would say, as I did on my first look map tour, there is nothing better than searching a map. Just spend some time, get a look around. I know Barris, who comments on my videos a lot, and we have a lot of chats backs and forwards, said whenever he does gold nuggets, he never does them by vehicle, always does them on foot. That way you get to explore around every single map and see parts of it that you wouldn't do normally, and that makes perfect sense. Now, I can't remember if I showed this on the video or not, and if I did, I apologise if I'm repeating myself, but the security guard that's there doing an awesome job. If I come inside the building, look what's on the screen. Thank you. In my mind I'm thinking I have, but then did I just come and look at this because someone mentioned it? That's brilliant. That's such a cool touch, having the Farming Simulator page up on the screens. Yeah, really, really good. I like that a lot. And it just goes to show that attention to detail that Jim's put in is brilliant. It really, really is. Now, I'm hoping I've covered everything. I'm hoping I've gone through. I'm looking at my checklist. Silo contents, nuggets, sell points, car wash, racetrack, manure refill, workshop lift, cats and bales, selling water, slurry triggers. The only one is that fuel, not being able to sell the fuel. I'm not sure about that one, why that didn't work, but it's a minor thing. If you've stuck with me this long on this second episode, this second look on Sussex Farm, small bit of news. I've been inundated, and I really do mean that. I don't always mean it, inundated with 2 or 3 people. I have been inundated with people saying, I must do a Let's Play on this. I should do a Let's Play on this. I owe it to Jim. I owe it to myself to do a Let's Play on this. And you know what? You're absolutely right. So here's the big news, the big reveal. Watch this space. I'm going to be doing a crossover episode. A crossover from the Valley of the Old Farm to this map on Sussex. I'm going to carry on doing the Valley of the Old Farm, but the crossover episode will have both farms linked together in the same episode. Bit of a narrative, bit of a storyline. So for all of you that wanted me to do Sussex Farm, I am coming to Sussex Farm. I'm doing a Let's Play on Sussex Farm. This is going out Sunday. I spent all of Saturday, and when I say all of Saturday, I mean all of Saturday, preparing the map for the Let's Play. It's a brilliant map, still loving it. That should be everything as far as I'm aware. I hope you found this useful, informative in some way, shape or form. If you knew some or all of those things already, fantastic. If you didn't, I am glad I've helped you in some way. If you enjoyed this video in any way, shape or form and found it useful, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest, whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.